Hello and welcome to another edition of our Wednesday webinar. Today, my friends, you are in for a treat because we have an incredible person, expert from the Colangelo College of Business here with us, Professor Mark Petroff. Your career starts now, so be intentional, be prepared, and be ready. So Professor Petroff is going to speak to us a little bit about how he educates the students that come into the Colangelo College of Business. And we are just so thrilled to have you, Professor Petroff. Thank you so much for setting our stage for learning today with this incredible quote.
Thank you, Corey. Yes, it's all about starting early and being prepared. And success isn't an accident. It's the result of clear goals, constant effort, and the courage to live by your values.
I really love this concept of living by your values. So I can't wait to dig into that a little bit more as you share with us today 3 tips and a tool for being intentional, prepared, and ready. And it sounds like the trajectory we're headed towards is the following: to plan, work, focus, and succeed. And you've got a couple of bullet points here: starting early, multiple internships. I'm interested in that because a lot of our students are like, what internship? But I know that that's important. Maybe you can follow up on how our teachers might help our students do that. To market yourself, I know that's important too, but I don't know that teachers always know how to do that or are taught how to do that. So I'm excited about that, and to leverage your resources. And I can tell you already that you've got to be one of our resources. So I'm excited about what the College of Business can help us with. Tell us a little bit about how to get started.
So, whether you're young in your career or you're in the middle or you're towards retirement, anywhere you are along the spectrum of that, you have to plan and be intentional about it. You don't have to leave your future up to chance. You don't have to hope that you're gonna roll the dice and someone knocks on your door and says, "Hey, John, I really want you to come work for my company. I came across your profile on Reddit or on Instagram, and I just thought the things that you were saying was awesome. Come work for me." That's not really how that happens. So we have to be intentional early on when we're pursuing a career and a job, because it's not going to be handed to us. The Indigo test is something that has been developed. It's a disc method, meaning it gives you a large kind of insight into who you are as a person. It has you rate certain things higher than others in certain phrases, what you agree with the most, what you agree with the least. And then from this Indigo test, personality test, you get a good depiction of what would I kind of be good at doing work wise? What can I do that would make my personal, kind of beliefs be upheld, and I don't have to worry about, kind of compromising things to that effect. It's
The personality tests help, in your opinion, with figuring out who you are from a values perspective?
Yeah, in that test, it kind of gives you, are you more traditional? Are you more flexible on certain things of morality? Or what do you rate highest in your approach to life? And this test allows you to see, what I really do care about, in my case, my faith. And my faith is a large part of who I am. And because of the questions that it asks, it puts it on a higher priority for things that are important. If you can take away the kind of ramification of a job that you make up in your mind and say, does this job fit who I am as a person? You will have a longer job satisfaction and you'll enjoy your career, whatever you choose, so much more because you were able to align what you want to do as a job career and who you are as a person. And if those things are misaligned, you're going to have conflict, and that conflict is going to end up making you kind of have to make decisions that I would rather not decide. It is a really good service to do for the employer as well, because the employer is looking to hire someone in most cases, not just a week or two, but they want to invest in a person who shares in their vision, who shares in who they are as a company. And if you can come into the company and be aligned with that company's vision, you both win. Career Connections helps you with that process. Career Connections is something that GCU offers, but pretty much every university or anywhere you go will have a career services office. At GCU, ours is called Career Services. And this is a place where you can get help with your resume. You can do mock interviews, sit down, talk through, hey, they're going to ask questions like this. You can say, this is a job I want to apply for. Help get me prepared. So utilizing career services early in your search saves so much time, saves so much headache that you really will wonder, how come I didn't do this sooner? So, what you see on the right here is one of our guest speakers that came to GCU. We do a guest speaker about every month for the College of Business. And what we try to do is take industry leaders, top level individuals. For instance, we had Supreme Court Justice for Arizona, William Montgomery, come and speak to our students about politics and about law and about application of law. We are very intentional about selecting people and putting them in front of the students to kind of bridge that gap between I kind of think about what I want to do to I can ask this person right here, right now, in front of me about that.
That is fantastic, and it allows the second slide here work. I see they are able to research fields of interest by talking to someone about, oh, you work in the area of state taxes. Do I want to do that?
No, in all honesty, the students as they go through their college career, if I came in my freshman year and I was like, I want to be X, and I just set my mind to it, work all the way through, and I become X, and I had it all along, my hats are off to you. I only have one hat at a time, but my hat's off to you. And I really respect that. But a lot of people are going to college to discover first the kind of general career they want to be a part of, and then kind of isolate it down to a specific industry. So, what we want you to do, or what I want you to do, is say, hey, I'm interested, choose your major, hospitality. I know I love people. I know I love being in front of people, but I'm not exactly sure where that applies best. In hospitality, we want you to research those fields. Do I like restaurants more? Do I like hotels more? Do I like country clubs? What is it that I like? And the way that you go from that into application is doing an internship.
Mm.
Every summer, you have an opportunity where companies are looking for interns. They want to spend 2, 3 months getting to know and train and interact with our students because for them as a company, it is so much easier and so much more cost effective to hire someone who's a known commodity, someone who's done an internship for their company their senior year. They snatch them up. They're like, this is a steal. We got this student that we know that's good at what we want them to do, and they get that experience through those internships. But internships are a very short, quick commitment that is just a summer long, or maybe it's just a semester long. You do an internship, you realize this is not for me. You can easily walk away. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I have now a reference. I now have a resume building tool or a resume building experience on my resume saying I've done this internship. And I learned most importantly, I don't like that. And then the other opportunity is, you know what? I believe in paying for everything I can myself, every opportunity I could. When I was in college, I worked as much as possible. I have to follow more of what it means to have to balance my personal life, my school life, and my work life. And you get into the habit of building, hopefully, healthy habits.
Well, and I love what Dr. Meg Jay says about identity capital. So every time you're working, whether it's a part-time job or in an internship, you're building that identity capital, understanding what you're good at, maybe what you're not so good at. What are the things that, how do we funnel into exactly what our personality is best suited for?
So you have an opportunity now to say, this is what I love as a field of work. And then here's the industry, or here's the kind of company that I think I would work best with. Now, the way you do that though is you don't get a lot of time in front of people. If you see someone, they're not going to be like, oh, let's sit down for 30 minutes and talk. You need an elevator pitch. And what I mean by an elevator pitch is where you have who you are as a person. Mark Petroff, who I am, working experience, what have you, in a 30-second elevator pitch. Meaning when you bump into that CEO that you have researched somehow at one of the hotels that you were visiting, and you guys are sharing an elevator at the same time, you have about 30 seconds.
I
So,
love
how do you shake a hand? How do you get the best of who you are out to that individual to impress them enough to where you now have an opportunity and a connection to move forward with maybe pursuing a career? Career services will come, you can go to them and they will come and walk you through how do you make a good elevator pitch? What are the key components of that? And when are you using it and when are you applying it? Because at GCU, we have all these companies coming to hire our students.
That's great that the career services allows that time and puts the space there for an elevator pitch. And what can a teacher at the K-12 level take from what it is that you're creating there at the College of Business?
So at the College of Business building right now, as we speak, is our TW Lewis Center for Student Success. There's two separate parts of it, but it's one kind of unified approach. On one side, you have the ability for students to expand on their creativity through a broadcast and a podcast center. In
Wow.
that, teachers can bring in guest speakers, they can interview them, have a podcast, and then they can use it for their class and reference it. Now we have the opportunity to capture those experiences and share them with not just that group of people who was there, but to any student, whoever wants to review it. Or the instructors can use it to say, hey, this was a great speaker. This was a great opportunity. They came in, they did a podcast. We asked very specific questions that pertain to the content that we're teaching about from an industry leader answering those questions. We also have the market ticker above there. We want to do a nightly newscast for the market results from our finance students. Hey, here's what happened in the market. Here are the gains, here are the losses, here's the trends. 5 minutes every day, get that information out for the finance students. And then they get that experience with talking about the market. And then they have things that they can present to companies that, hey, I know the market. You can listen to me. Here's the film. Here's the information. Now, on the other side of the center is career services. The challenge was that we realized that career services for GCU was located right next to the main entrance. And as GCU has expanded and got so large, we decided to improve the access to career services by building an on-site career service office for our College of Business students so they don't have to walk 15, 20 minutes across campus to get this support, because this is the whole purpose of what we're doing at the TW Lewis Center is preparing students who come to college with the intent of getting a real job and a real career for that launch. And we don't want anyone to graduate and go, I don't know what I want to do. I don't have any idea of where I'm going, and I have 2 weeks to figure that out. That's not what we want to ever hear.
I love that you are preparing so intentionally for students to get that job. And you're doing it by saying, yeah, we're going to help you get an internship during your school time. I love that you have this podcast and broadcast center inside of a career services kind of platform where you're saying, yeah, you have to market yourself. You have to be up to speed and understand. And you also have something, the Charles Schwab Center as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the Schwab Center?
Yes. First, overall, the College of Business is very intentional. We look at how can we prepare our leaders for the future, and we don't want, like I said, for it to happen by chance.
Wow.
GCU has students, they created a fund that GCU is investing private investor money into the market, doing phenomenal. They're using their real skills that they're learning in class and applying it to real money. And it's overseen by the entire finance department. The students are getting that real world experience and the understanding, and they're doing a really good job at it. So this type of opportunity, I don't know what other universities lets their students do this, but we are intentional about giving the students the real life application of what we're teaching. We are teaching to the things that we have done in the real world. And by doing so, it sets our students apart for when they graduate and when they apply for the jobs. The connections, the experience, and the confidence that they have makes them a very easy hire for employers.
I absolutely love it. And I'll end this slide with right here where it says good habits lead to a good life. So I cannot wait to hear what sort of tool you have to share with us.
So on your left, as you heard, it's the TW Lewis Center for Student Success. Tom Lewis was a builder, a home builder for the Phoenix greater metropolitan area. A staple in our community has been someone who has helped build literally our community. He puts his entire life in this book, and he goes from being a college student to working during the summer. He had some challenges throughout his life, made some really good decisions, some poor decisions, and you get to walk through that path and that journey and how you really have to set a foundation for winning in work and life. I probably have interviewed over 1,000 people, and I've hired probably over 500 for various positions, probably way more than that. And there's instances where you can easily say, this is not a good fit for you. I understand that everyone watching this might not be a GCU student, but if you are and you want one of these books, you can find me on campus. I'm in the College of Business, the CCOB in Building 42. Come find me. I'll give you a book and I'm happy to talk to you. If you're not at GCU, then you have access to this information, but you can email me. I'm sure you'll put up my information afterwards. I'm happy to talk with anyone about their career, questions about GCU, college business, but we really want people to succeed. If you're in the middle of a transition from a career, I've had multiple careers. I've not always been with GCU, and I've changed my job multiple times, and that's a natural thing. But at some point, you might be like, I need a little help. I know kind of what I want, but I need some grounding. And that's what this book helps you with. It helps refocus you, helps you kind of put things in perspective. And then with the Indigo tool with it, you can really get a sense of, okay, I'm looking to make a big transition in my life. Maybe I've worked in an industry for 10, 15, 20 years and I want to transition, but how do I do that? And this will help you kind of go through those internal kind of questions that a lot of us skip and a lot of us don't even think about.
This is so great. So your tool, folks, is Solid Ground. So pick up that book from your bookseller. I know it's on Amazon, easy enough, but any bookseller, and then you'll get that code to be able to take the Indigo test, which is absolutely worth it on so many levels. One of my takeaways from this webinar: job will choose you if you don't choose it. Know who you are and balance that with, like, look at your values and decide what you want to do. And all of the tips that you shared with us today are invaluable. I love that you said get that internship. It's absolutely necessary. The elevator pitch, so much information in here. I know folks will be scrubbing back through this YouTube video to see just some of the real gems that you shared with us today. So I cannot thank you enough for your time, your talents, your expertise. Our why, we always want to ground ourselves, speaking of solid ground, in our why, and that is to empower, educate, and inspire our community so they take action to fulfill their purpose and to serve one another. So thank you all for being here today at our Wednesday webinar. And if you liked the content today, please subscribe for more. Any parting words, Professor Petroff?
Don't be scared to ask for help. All of us, if you try to do this on your own with no one helping you, you'll get probably not the result you're looking for. Leverage the tools that you have. You have people who are willing to help you answer questions, be inquisitive, stay positive. And also look, I personal recommendation would be before you start looking for jobs, go through your social media and just look at all the things that you're posting and say, is this a reflection of who I want to be as an employee of the company that I'm applying for?
Thank you so much, folks. Have a great rest of your day.